We have some gathering music from Women in the Round.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to see so many faces here this morning. My name is Tegan Moline and I serve on the Fellowship Board of Directors. I want to thank you all for being here today and extend a special welcome to any visitors. If you would like more information about the fellowship, please visit the welcome table in the fireside room or sign our virtual guest book at uufames.org/guestbook. I want to, whether you're joining us from home or here in Fellowship Hall, we invite you to stay after service for Coffee Fellowship, where you can introduce yourself and join in conversation with kindred spirits. We have a couple of announcements this morning. We are still rounding up volunteers for our booth at this year's Pride Festival in a few weeks. If you are interested, please sign up for a slot at the table in the fireside room. It's actually right outside the door as you're leaving this morning. If you have questions or you want to talk to someone about it, you can talk to Jamie Gerganis, who is here. We have now passed the deadline for the search committee's survey. That deadline was was Friday, but we don't yet have enough responses. So you get a second chance. Please. It'll be open for one more week. It is an individual survey. So not one per household, one per individual, including young people. There is a path for under 18s to answer questions as well. So please help our search committee find someone who wants to serve us so they know what we need. The link is in your weekly email, which you are all in the habit of saving, I know. And if you can't find it, I'm sure you can find a friend who can send it to you. So on behalf of this caring, nurturing congregation, I welcome each and every one of you to the sacred space. Here we invite you into an experience of transformation, hope, renewal, and connections, which may inspire you to understand life in new ways. Thank you for joining us today.
Our opening words this morning are from Reverend Gretchen Haley. Every little thing that breaks your heart is welcome here. We'll make space for it. Give it its due time and praise for wanting it, the longing for something more, some healing hope that remains. Yet we promise no magic, no making it all better, but offer only this circle of trust, this human community that remembers, though imperfectly, that sings and prays, though sometimes awkwardly, this gathering that loves, though not yet enough. We're still practicing, and after all, we're still learning, still in need of help, still becoming able to receive all this beauty and all these gifts that we each bring. Come, let us worship together. And our chalice lighting is from the Soul Matters team. We light this chalice to remember the light within, to know that the hunger we feel inside is not an emptiness, but the echo of an inner wisdom that already knows what we need. May our time together help us welcome that voice and each other back home. Will you rise now in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 347, Gather the Spirit.
I would like to invite those who are young or young at heart to come forward this morning, if you haven't already. Today is our first day of religious education classes, and we will be dedicating our teachers with the following litany. The words are in your order of service, and they'll also be on the screen. This morning, we wish to thank our teachers for your commitment to this church, to our values, and especially to our children. You have accepted the responsibility of helping our children grow and develop within our community. The enthusiasm you show toward them, this church, and our Unitarian Universalist movement will help them as they develop their own spiritual identities. We wish you to know that we acknowledge the responsibility you have accepted and respect the commitment you have made.
Would all the teachers please stand now, if you're able? The time you spend teaching, caring for, and being with the children of this community is a special ministry. We ask that you keep in mind what you are doing is ministry. Our children are delicate, growing souls. Tend them with care and love.
Parents, I will have you join me in reading the next portion. We thank you for your willingness to be with our children, to teach them, to guide them, and to be with them. We remind you that you are role models for our children. How you treat them and how you interact with each other teaches them more about who we are and what we believe than any lesson. Children, this is your portion, and I'm going to read each line and have you repeat after me, okay? Thank you for being our leaders. Thank you for being our leaders. We look forward to spending time with you, having fun with you, and learning from you. We look forward to spending time with you, having fun with you, and learning from you. We ask that you remember that we are people too, and that you respect us. We ask that you remember that we are people too, and that you respect us. And now, teachers, please join me in reading. We accept the responsibilities of being in the classrooms with our children. We promise to bring our enthusiasm, talents, and energies to helping them grow into individuals that they will become. We ask that you support us in this endeavor. Be there when we need help. Listen to us when we need your ear. Congregation, we acknowledge and honor the role that we have within our community. We know that this is not something you can do alone. We are all teachers, and we will strive to remember that. We are all here to support and help you, each in our own way.
And now, everyone,
This
this is the beginning of a new year. We are all part of this one community, children and adults alike. May we all grow and be enriched by our time together. And now, Dana, what's next?
We are going to sing our children to the first day of class.
Will you join me now in a time of prayer and meditation? And our prayer this morning comes from Reverend Joe Cherry. When my ears are full of the worries, the concerns, the pains of others, grant me permission for silence. When my arms and shoulders and back ache from the burdens of others, grant me permission to set them down. Guide me to another, a friend perhaps, to talk with, not for once to be talked at. And may I not be a burden to them as I pour out my pain, my weariness, my exhaustion. But instead a place of mutual care. My dear listener friend, may you always know, no matter how tired I am, you can turn to me too. May it be so, and amen.
We are a welcoming community where we find connection, a spiritual community where we find meaning, a shared community where our joys are amplified, a caring community where our sorrows are lessened. It is a tradition in our community to take this moment to share our joys and sorrows and acknowledge the mutual support of our community. It is a time of sharing. If you would like, those in Fellowship Hall, you may come forward to the microphone, state your name, share a joy or sorrow, and I will light a milestone candle for you.
Hey all, this is Molly Helmers. I'm a member of your generosity team. I am standing here next to my brand new coffee pot, which I like to say could fly you to the moon. This is not a commercial for Ninja or whoever makes this model.
But I'm bringing it up because we're getting ready to go into our fall campaign. And one of the things that you hear organizations say when they're starting to raise money is, think about how much you spend every day on a cup of coffee, or how much you spend every month on your streaming service. And isn't NPR, or isn't Planned Parenthood, or isn't whatever the organization is, worth at least that? To which I say, heck yeah. And you know what? I'm someone who really, really loves my coffee. So, even though it's a little kitschy, we take the message to heart. And we've talked a lot about the vision for our fellowship, where we want to go in the future, and what big things we have in mind, our wish lists, which are still hanging up in the downstairs hallway. We can't have those wish lists if we don't have the funding. And we can't have those wish lists if we have one-time gifts that don't continue from year to year. So, number one, we need you to be a sustaining giver. That helps us out so much as a fellowship as a whole. And number two, we need to think about reassessing our sustaining gifts in terms of growth and prosperity. So your assignment today, should you choose to accept it, go check out your sustaining gift. What are you giving, and what can you give in addition to that? Maybe it's not financial at this point, but let's have our eye on the future as we make those decisions this fall.
And that's really hard for me to watch. But I've had that coffee pot for several months now, and I still love it, and I love the fellowship. So it does represent two big priorities in my life, coffee and the fellowship. So just a few more words from me as we head into what we are calling our Dreaming Big campaign, and that officially kicks off next week. This is our once-a-year conversation about money, about paying for our very existence as we are currently, and about gathering the resources that we need to make some of our dreams come true. Unfortunately, we don't have a fairy godmother to come in and bibbidi-bobbidi-boo all that into reality, so we have to do it ourselves. Tomorrow is an important day. Every one of you will receive an email message from the Generosity team, and that is to help you start thinking about your annual giving. If you read every word of this email, it's going to take like 3 minutes. Pair it up with a cup of coffee. It includes our wish lists, which we created in our roundtable sessions that so many of you participated in. And those wish lists will give you a sense of where we want to go as a fellowship. So please watch for the email in your inbox and give it your attention. And then we hope you'll spend a little bit of time on the assignment. And that is thinking about your role in our collective future, including the level of your sustaining gift. Matt and I will continue to prioritize the fellowship with an increase in our giving. And if you'll join us in doing that, we might be able to sweeten the pot, your coffee pot, that is, because I just happen to have a second Ninja brewing system, or whatever it's called, because of a shipping error. And I'm willing to share the love. So I've decided I will make this a prize in a drawing for any new sustaining givers or any giving units who choose to increase their gift amount. Otherwise, it's going to my mother-in-law, and that's not nearly as fun. So that is all for this week, but please keep an eye on your inbox tomorrow. Thank you.
We will now give and receive the offering. Please know that this morning, half the non-pledge offering will be donated to Project Koru. This organization enriches lives through community and outdoors as a way to move forward beyond cancer. Their goal is to help survivors reclaim and rediscover the best version of their lives and selves. The other half of our offering will support programs here in our fellowship that make this a community of transformation. As we pass the basket here in Fellowship Hall, the women in the round will have some music for you. For those at home, you can now visit uufames.org, and it's uufames.square.site to make your contribution today. And if you're visiting today, please know that your presence is gift enough.
Good morning, Central Iowa and beyond. My name is Reverend A.J. Galazin. I'm your interim minister, and my pronouns are he and his. I want to welcome everyone with us today, both here in the sanctuary and on Zoom. Wherever you are on your spiritual, ethical, or questioning journey, you are welcome here. Today is the third Sunday of the month, and I will meet immediately after the service with the newcomers circle right over there by that tree. So if you are visiting or new to this fellowship, please join us for an informal conversation. But every Sunday should be Friendly Sunday. If you notice someone you don't know, please say hello. Also today at 11:15, get some coffee, join us back here in the sanctuary for WTF, the Worship Topic Forum. Because in our tradition, we believe that worship is the work of the people. And we need to begin by asking what the people are interested in, what you value, what you want to know more about. Yesterday, the Ames UCC welcomed Reverend Dr. Miguel de la Torre, speaking on confronting hopelessness in immigration. And he shared an inspirational message of hopelessness. That's right, hope can be a veiled form of oppression. Hopelessness is not despair, it is desperation. And hopelessness forces us to do something, even when the end result is in doubt. And next Sunday is Social Justice Sunday. After the service, our special guest will be David Hanson from the Ames Friends meeting, discussing the work of supporting immigration through interfaith partnership. Our theme for September is welcome. And we want to share our welcome with everyone. So please check out the fall program guide when it arrives in your mailbox, or pick up a copy here today. Make plans to activate yourself in some of the upcoming events here at the fellowship as we live out our mission of welcoming each other into a deeper connection with the Spirit of life. One of my favorite places in Ames is the Butterfly Wing at Ryman Gardens. I first visited the butterflies many years ago out of sheer curiosity, since I'm a member of the American Horticultural Society, and I love gardens. Now I return to the Butterfly Wing often to sit quietly and enjoy the tantalizing movements of these delicate and amazing living things, trying to find some rhyme or reason in their flight. It seems like so much wasted energy, so much missed opportunity, so random and fickle. I don't get it at all, except for the hint of joy and the taste of possibility. There's something very intriguing about creating a trail that cannot be traced. In some ways, the flights of the butterflies resemble the pathways of our lives. For some of us, it is not the distance from point A to point B that is the most important. It's in the stories of discovery and adventure that we tell after the fact that leads us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. Now, some of us are definitely not butterflies. We are more like frenetic hummingbirds, ruthlessly pursuing each conquest with high energy and determination, defending our territories and keeping busy finding new ones to exploit, which is fine. I think that the stories hummingbirds tell are shorter, faster, and more to the point, though they may lack some of the lyrical poetry of butterflies. Here's a poem from Wendell Berry, The Vacation. Once there was a man who filmed his vacation. He went flying down the river in his boat with his video camera to his eye, making a moving picture of the moving river upon which his sleek boat moved swiftly toward the end of his vacation. He showed his vacation to his camera, which pictured it, preserved it forever, the river, the trees, the sky, the light, the bow of his rushing boat behind which he stood with his camera, preserving his vacation even as he was having it, so that after he had had it, he would still have it. It would be there. With a flick of a switch, there it would be, but he would not be in it. He would never be in it. Close quote. Sometimes our lives seem like so much wasted energy, so much missed opportunity, so random and fickle. I don't get it at all, except for the hint of joy and the taste of possibility. There's something very intriguing in creating a life that cannot be traced. Liberal religion claims no magic formulas or promises of eternal wisdom. What we offer is the possibility of joining a circle of trust. And we deepen that trust by listening to both the magnificent and awkward stories that resonate in our common humanity. Both the hummingbirds and the butterflies have a place here. Many of our religious neighbors rely on a common lectionary, a book listing selected portions from sacred scriptures appointed to be read at certain times in the liturgical year. Our Unitarian Universalist tradition says that no outside resource, however well respected, should interfere with what we choose to study, explore, and teach. And so we have abandoned the steady consistency of the lectionary and replaced it with the unpredictable and evolving concerns of the day. In so doing, we may have removed ourselves from a mainstream religious literacy that informs our society. One strength of the Common Lectionary is that it unites many denominations through the foundation text of a single story, even as it allows for diverse interpretations. In keeping up with our neighbors, I believe it is useful to occasionally reference the Common Lectionary in our UU services. The interesting thing is that there are a variety of readings for each week. Not all of them are used, so there's still a lot of local control when the preacher decides to focus. So I looked at this week's lectionary passages, and here's the one I chose from Matthew chapter 18, verses 21 and 22. Then Peter came and said to him, "Lord, if my brother or sister sins against me, how often should I forgive? As many as 7 times?" Jesus said to him, "Not 7 times, but I tell you, 77 times." Close quote. This verse always knocks me off my chair. I was talking with a minister friend last week, and they said they had a good night's sleep, woke up feeling great, got in the car, and the traffic was such that they said the F word 3 times on the way to church. Was the F word forgiveness, I asked. No, that wasn't their word. But forgiveness was the F word in my mind, having just read the lectionary. And that's the beauty of the lectionary. It connects ancient stories with the currency of our lives. Now, we are not bound by the lectionary, but that does not mean we can't be in conversation with it, learn from it, along with scriptures and inspirational poetry from traditions all over the world. I admired the convenience and clarity of the lectionary so much that years ago I complained to one of my dear mentors. I said, "I wish we had a lectionary." To which he memorably responded, "But we do. We have a living lectionary." If you're doing your job as a minister, you will find the sacred and timeless stories within yourself and within your congregation. We know the stories are there. You just have to find them. Close quote. A living lectionary. I never looked at a congregation in the same way after that. Who among you are the gospel tellers? Who are the psalmists, the singers of praise and lament? Who are the interpreters, the historians, the prophets? You are all here. Now, not all parts of sacred scripture are equally compelling. There are a lot of common stories in the common lectionary. But don't let that fool you. Beneath the common, we can find something very universal. And the gold standard is the personal testimonial, proclaiming your truth in your own words. As Parker Palmer says, no one knows you better than you. Our free faith extends an open invitation to bring truth from every direction, including and especially voices that have been denied or disrespected. Not everyone needs to speak openly and publicly. There are some truths so tender, some lessons so stressful, that an intermediary is helpful. Trusted companions and professional confidants are available to filter, massage, and nuance stories, changing names to protect the innocent when necessary. When we are in conversation with each other, it is a natural process. We learn and grow together. So how do we break open the living lectionary? We can gather to meet each other where we are, to form circles of trust. In one-on-one encounters, in casual groups like the Romeos and the Women of Wisdom, in formal focus groups and town halls, and in facilitated Soul Matters groups. Each of these encounters can be valuable and life-affirming, and I urge you to find some deeper connections wherever you can. But today I want to highlight the Soul Matters program. Soul Matters is a collective of more than 140 Unitarian Universalist congregations that provides readings, questions, and resource material based upon monthly themes. What's our theme for September? Welcome. Oh my God. Give yourself an A. These materials are organized for worship services, religious education, and small group gatherings. This fellowship is a proud member of Soul Matters and has been for many years. The Soul Matters facilitated group experience is happening right here. Once a month, participants gather not to fix or change each other, but to deepen their own understanding. These groups exist not as a therapy group or a discussion group, but somewhere in between, to listen without interruption, judgment, advice, or opinion, to share honestly stories, and to build trust by supporting each other's journey. The Soul Matters facilitator is trained in gentle guidance to keep the group afloat and keep members in covenant with each other. We currently have 3 active groups here. We would like to create more, but first we need more facilitators. Some of the active groups occasionally have openings for new members. And if you're interested in participating or facilitating, please contact me or Bradley in the fellowship office. The personal growth that arises from our work in a Soul Matters group is kept confidential by members of the group. But the discoveries and realizations that arise for each individual can form the gold standard of the living lectionary. Are you with me? The personal testimony comes from some ability to remove that story and bring it out into the world. One thing leads to another, and in the words of Parker Palmer, let your life speak. Can you say that with me? Let your life speak. You just did. I will once again be facilitating a drop-in Soul Matters group on the third Wednesday of each month. Beginning this week, no commitment is required. Drop in either in person or on Zoom as we share common space and explore questions relating to the theme of the month. Your assignment this week, should you choose to accept it, attend the Worship Topic Forum at 11:15 today, right here in this hall. This is your chance to add your thoughts to our living lectionary. This is not your only chance. The lectionary is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But this is a time to advance our conversation together. Liberal religion claims no magic formulas or promises of eternal wisdom. What we offer is the possibility of joining a circle of trust. And I encourage you to find and build your own circle of trust. May it be so, and amen. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 128, For All That Is Our Life. Our closing words are from Reverend Leslie Takahashi. Walk the maze within your heart. Guide your steps into its questioning curves. This labyrinth is a puzzle leading you deeper into your own truths. Listen to the twists and turns. Listen to the openness within all searching. Listen. A wisdom within you calls to a wisdom beyond you, and in that dialogue lies peace. Go now in peace.